Hello and welcome to VMTV Vaults. My name is Kyle Diamond. My guest for this episode sees the return of Mr. Frans Mlambo to the series. The last time we spoke to Frans was when he was getting ready to fight in FEN. He won his fight over there to become their new Bantamweight Champion, and it has now been announced he will be fighting on Combate Global. Many of you will be familiar with that thanks to Hain, who's been doing great work over there, so this is brilliant timing to see Frans go over there. But also, he's going to be fighting in a one-night, 8-man tournament. And if you're not sold already, then I've got nothing else for you because that sounds incredible. We of course talked about that, how we will approach it, all the stuff like that, what he knows about the format and things. We talked about his time at SBG Dublin, of course, where he's been there for 9 years, and how he's seen the gym itself, but also the Irish MMA scene evolve right in front of his eyes. And we talked about his ongoing dilemma with social media, and kind of what role he wants that to play in his career going forward. Without further ado, Mr. Frans Mlambo. So the last time we spoke was about 5 months ago, I believe. And it was when you had just been announced that you were going to be fighting in, what was it, FEN. So at that time we talked a lot about the Bellator thing and how it was kind of a bit strange. It kind of seemed like Bellator were giving a lot of fighters room to go out and just get some fights because they couldn't guarantee that they were going to be giving people fights. And then suddenly it seems like half of the European roster was cut. Like, it all seemed to happen so fast, but the good thing was you managed to get a new fight on a new promotion like so fast. So talk to me about that process of fighting on FEN, and like I said, it seemed to come together just like instantly.
No, it's just that they just reached out to me. Like, literally, I was at a place where I was thinking, what am I gonna do now? You know what I mean? It's just I didn't do anything wrong for that to happen with Bellator, but then again, they didn't either, you know what I'm saying? My juice is a bit low, so I'm gonna have to change direction here.
No worries.
But you still see real good, yeah?
Yeah, we're all good.
Cool, yeah. So they reached out to me. They were like, "We're looking for a bantamweight fighter. Are you up for it?" And they were offering me Lapilos. So I was like, "There's this guy Taylor Lapilos that we want to match you up with." And I was like, "Yes, get me on there, 100%, right?" And then it obviously went another way, and then they ended up offering me the title fight. And I was like, right, fair enough. I can't get Lapilos, then the title fight will do good. I got that. That went good. And then, yeah, it all went good. But man, I'll tell you one thing, right? Because people don't really expect this, like. But I've been around, like I've traveled a good bit, like fighting and stuff like that. But Warsaw, I went to the fight was in Warsaw, Poland, and it was flipping amazing, man. Warsaw is awesome. If you haven't visited, I definitely go down there. It's class down there.
Is it a weird situation? I mean, I feel like it's been a pretty easy transition, but is it weird going from Bellator where you're guaranteed to, have fights lined up at some point to kind of finding your own fights? I mean, luckily with FEN, they came straight to you and were like, here you go. I don't know what that process was like after the fight with FEN, but is it a bit weird being like you're kind of just like a hired gun at this point?
Well, the thing is, that was only literally in that period of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? After my last fight, I straight away signed with MTK, so now I have management and I don't have to go looking for my own fights. And from them, I got onto this thing now with Combate Global. So that whole thing didn't happen to me for too long. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't like in that before FEN reached out to me and all that, I was kind of like a bit stuck and I didn't know what was next, and it kind of worked itself out, you know what I mean? And now I'm flipping. You know what I mean? Now I'm the champion of this organization, this new organization, and then I'm going to something else now, which is pretty big. So it all worked out, man.
Yeah, exactly. We got to talk about this announcement, which will be out by the time this interview comes out. That you're going to be competing on Combate Global in a one night tournament, which I mean, for a start, as just I think MMA fans just in general, they hear tournament one night as well, just adds to it even more. Like it's such a special thing because it doesn't happen very often, and so when it does, it's such a it feels like such a throwback that that you just don't get anymore. Talk to me about when you were offered that and how did you feel about it at first?
So I kept I kept an eye on Pat Lehan, who's over fighting with Combate Global, and then it came up that we heard that there was a bantamweight tournament coming up, and I was like, get me on that, you know what I'm saying? And so for a while, like apparently Pat Lehan won the space for Ireland because like they were kind of keeping it to the South American kind of countries. I know there's a French guy there now. I don't know how that came about, but there's only like two from Europe, me and him. And there might be another Spanish guy actually. I'm not sure. Check maybe. Anyways, right. So he got the space for me for Ireland to get in, and then we were looking for a bantamweight in Ireland, and you know what I mean? My head was there. So I was definitely interested in getting in there, and ended up getting in there pretty good. So don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. He's been doing great things over there. So I feel like now is the right time for this tournament and for you to be in it because it's got more eyes on this tournament from this area of the world than ever before. How do you approach, because talk to me about what you know about the format, because a one night tournament is a weird thing that kind of doesn't make any sense in combat sports when you think of it, but it's such a tradition that it still happens. So what exactly do you know about this night?
Yeah, but like, see, look, you hear one night tournament and you think that's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, how is that gonna even work? But the way they're doing it is fantastic. So in total you'll have 3 fights. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it's an eliminator, but it's only an 8-man, so I guess it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you have 3 fights. The first 2 fights are only 1 5-minute round each, and then the last fight is a full 3 5-minute round. You know what I mean? So yeah, like it sounds flipping fantastic. It doesn't even really sound as hard as you would think. Going into an 8-man tournament. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It just sounds good to me, man. You know what I mean? I feel like I tend to always win the first round. So that's them first 2 fights in the bag, and then the last guy still will get smoked.
I love that it changes, like, because of the process of a tournament. It changes it in that not only is you have to watch every fight because every fight has a meaning to it, but also just it's interesting seeing how people change their approaches and stuff because of the tournament format. Like, I feel like people here, at least people who've not watched an MMA tournament maybe since like the old UFC days, you hear a one night tournament and you kind of picture like pro wrestling where one person leaves the ring and another one comes in, and
it's definitely not that. That's what like I'm kind of getting in my head. It's like that it's going to just be crazy, you know.
I can imagine when you tell people, or when you get around to, you know, having conversations with people who aren't as invested in MMA, and you say, it's a 8-man one night tournament. They're like, is that legal?
I've gotten a few of them reactions already, and then you have to kind of sit there and explain that it's actually not that bad and stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know.
How does the format change your approach at all?
I actually don't know, like, because it's not really that much different from anything else, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I'm going to change my approach. I'm just going to do what I do, like, and but one thing I heard is that obviously in the first 2 fights, you know, the 1-rounders, you can't really throw elbows and shit like that because I mean, they don't want somebody to get caught and then say like they've made it through to the next round and they can't fight because of a cut or something like that. I mean, so I don't know if it's just elbows that aren't allowed. I don't know about knees and stuff like that, but I'm sure we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah. the last time we spoke, we didn't talk about, I think the thing that probably most people associate you with. So I figured we should touch on it this time, and that's of course SBG. I'm sure, like many others, the first time I heard of you was through SBG. I think it was through John Kavanagh in an interview saying about prospects in the gym to watch out for and stuff. How long have you been at SBG, first of all?
I've actually been at SBG my whole career, man. So it's probably about 9, 10 years at this stage. Do you know what I mean? So
that 9, 10 years has been a crazy time for not just that gym, but Irish MMA as a whole. How has it been? Like, you've got front row seats to that, you know, like you are in that gym every day. So how have you seen it change over that 9 year space, and even not just the gym, but like the whole kind of Irish MMA scene?
Yeah, no, it's definitely has boomed. You know what I mean? And that goes the same with the gym as well. Like you're always constantly fighting with different people from different countries and stuff like that. And no, it's been great to watch. Like, and it's been great to just be in the midst of it all. You know what I mean? Hear everybody talking about SBG. You get in a taxi or something, everybody like somebody asks, oh, like when you get around to like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I do MMA and that, and then you say, where do you train? SBG? Most people know SBG, you know what I mean? Taxi drivers, all that kind of stuff. So it's gotten popular, and it's just great just getting to work with different people. I love that. Any new kind of guy that comes into the club, I introduce myself, see where they're from and stuff, and see, you know what I mean? I just like meeting new people, and you get to do a load of that in SBG.
And I mean, being there 9 years, you've experienced probably multiple waves of that happening. Do you know what I mean? Like we've got guys in MMA now, like Ian Gary is a perfect example. A guy that is in the UFC now, and he was inspired by Conor McGregor and that whole revolution that happened. Like those waves, like you've been there 9 years, so those waves have already come through. This isn't like a thing that's just starting. This has been going for some time.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and we have some, you know what I mean, have some Bellator superstars, some UFC guys in there. So it's we're like, and like the up and coming guys as well. Like not only the guys that are currently there in pro, but the other guys coming up, man. There's some killers in there as well. Like we have a few guys in the IMMAFs and stuff that did super good there in the last one, and I'm sure they'll do better in the coming ones. Like we have a few coming. We have a few already getting ready for the ones in January, I think it is. So they're just up and away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sailing.
The last time we spoke as well, we touched on your social media presence and how you don't really get on with it, and that you don't think you're very good at it. I had a quick scroll through just to see how, if your style of social media had changed much since the last time we spoke. And I feel like it's pretty safe to say it hasn't. Is that fair enough?
Yeah. Because before I was kind of like, it was kind of bothering me. It's like, why can't I get a hang of this? But it's come to a stage right now where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do me. If people want to follow me, follow me. If you don't want to follow me, don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and because that's what I mean. I'm not very social media savvy any flipping way. You know what I mean? I kind of just keep to myself and just train, fight, talk. You know what I mean? If you're there beside me, I'll talk to you. Do you get what I'm saying? And like anybody's reaches out to me, wants interviews, and I'll do all that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't feel like I need to, because like even like yesterday I put up a video that somebody made for me. It was a great video, but I was sitting there for like 15 minutes thinking of what to say, and I was like, you know what? This is just time that I don't have to be wasting on this. You know what I mean? So somebody could just look at it for 2 seconds and just, you know what I mean, bounce. So I've kind of just changed my mindset on that. You know what I mean? Social media will be social media. So I kind of like, because before I was like, oh no, I'm shit at it, I need to learn. But now I'm good. I'm content. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like with what you're doing with this one night tournament, and then with the fight in FEN, it kind of it makes it feel more exciting when those things do get announced, almost because you're not posting so
Yeah.
regularly and stuff that when these things come about, there's like, as if for fans that kind of aren't clued into what you're doing all the time, it's kind of like, oh wait, you went and picked up a belt fighting in Poland, and now you're fighting in a one-man tournament, like a one-night tournament against 7 other people. It's like, it kind of adds to the surprise. At the moment, it seems very unpredictable.
Yes, definitely. Well, you know what? I wasn't like I didn't think I was going for that, but I'm glad it's working out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, that's the thing, because like I only really post like you'd never see me posting pictures of the shit I eat or what I'm doing on like a night out or nothing. You know what I mean? I post stuff to do with my fight. Like it's kind of like a business page in a way, but it's not like I don't put up anything that has nothing to do with fighting. I don't feel that's necessary for me. So yeah, if I have any news, then that's what goes on. Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I mean, the social media thing is like you said, if you've changed your mindset and now you're just like, you know, it is what it is, then I don't feel like it needs to be that important. If you do go in with that mindset of just kind of like, it's there when I need it, but this one night tournament, man, is going to be incredible. So excited for that. Thank you for your time, man, and we'll definitely get you on again after that all plays out.
100%. Holla at me. I'm always here. You know my number.
Sweet. Cool, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
No doubt. Peace. Say bye-bye to Tito.
I'll see you later. See you later, man. Peace. Thank you for checking out this episode of VMTV Vaults with myself and Mr. Frans Mlambo. As I mentioned, as we spoke about really, for the whole thing, Frans will be fighting on Combate Global on December 12th in a 8-man one-night tournament. Enough said. So definitely go check that out when it's on, and hit subscribe as well so you don't miss an episode of VMTV Vaults. Until the next episode, goodbye.